Hi there. So behind me is the cabinet that I'm going to refinish. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to go over my general plan of how to start refinishing a cabinet. Okay. Here we have the cabinet. I'm going to adjust the screen a little bit so you can see it better. It's got two doors. It's got a drawer on the bottom. So what you're going to do with your piece of furniture, the first thing is to take a look and you want to see if anything needs to be repaired. So when we're talking about repairs, we're talking about things that are loose, maybe things that are broken, things that need to be fixed. Go all the way around your piece of furniture until you are happy with what you see. So I'm going to take this drawer all the way out. I'm going to take a look and see if anything is loose or anything is broken. Looks okay. Okay, I'm going to spin it around. Take a look there. I don't see any broken pieces. The back. So the back on this particular piece of furniture is very cool because one of the easiest ways that you can tell if something is actually an antique is if it has a solid wood back. If anything has a solid wood back, chances are that it's a real antique because plywood, as soon as it was invented, they started putting it on the backs of furniture because it's a lot cheaper. So this is a nice piece. Now you don't have to refinish anything as excessive as this, but it's important that you challenge yourself with this project. Okay. So I've taken a look. The fixing, we're all good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a chisel or a scraper or a putty knife, and I'm going to find an out-of-the-way place on my project where I'm going to take a look at what kind of finish is on this and how many layers. As you can see, this is paint, but we want to see how many layers of paint are on it. So I'm going to spin this around to the side here. I'm going to take a look, take my chisel, and what I'm going to do is scrape off I'm gonna have to bring my computer in a little bit closer here. As you can see, there's already one layer of paint under there, some sort of weird, goofy beige, which is fine. So for one layer, 2 layers, and keep scraping until I get to the wood. Looks like it's just 2 layers of paint, which is good. Less layers of paint, less work that we have to do. Okay, so 2 layers of paint. Seems like it scrapes off fairly easily. That looks good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the doors and the drawers and all the hardware off because we want to refinish anything that moves independent of the large piece of furniture. We want to refinish these separate, especially things that like have glass in them, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to grab my screwdriver and I'm going to take this apart. Here's the door off. Do not ever use a screwdriver, a powered screwdriver to take off old hardware because their chances are that you're going to strip stuff. Don't ever lose this hardware. It's very, very hard to find replacements for that. And if you have one brand new shiny thing on a cabinet and everything else is old and beat up and rusty, it's going to look weird. What I do with hinges, I take a little bit of masking tape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the screws back into the holes of the hinge, and I'm going to tape it in place. That is an easy way not to lose your hardware. Normally, I would try to take this off, but it looks like it is nailed on with old little finishing nails that aren't very thick. So with this one, I'm actually going to leave it in place and I'll just work around it. That's a good thing to think about when you're taking off hardware. And with a little bit of fight, we are good. Next, I think I'm going to leave actually these handles on and just work around them. Maybe we'll see as the project goes along. And this little lock here, I'm going to take it off. That'll be fairly easy. That's how you get started on your cabinet project. In my next video, I'm going to talk about tools that we're going to use and talk about how we'll make a plan for refinishing this.